What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk to you on Lucid, I want to go over some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and as well what's been coming out from the company. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So when it comes down to Lucid, it is up 3%. So this is definitely one of those EVs that you need to watch, and even more so on Friday, it did outperform a lot of the other big players such as Tesla and Rivian. So maybe someone does actually know something about the Q3 numbers. Just as of right now, at the time of doing this video, nothing has been announced officially, but once again, it's kind of the writing on the wall that there's a lot of optimism, and when it comes to it, a lot of volume as well. So 10.8 million shares being traded within the first around 2.5 hours of the trading day. 25.9 is the average. But like I said, at the time of doing this video, no SEC filings, no press releases, nothing like that, just a lot of optimism. And one thing I just wanted to share with you, so this came out and was posted on Twitter by 𝗖𝗧, and so it just shows once again just Lucid ingraining themselves where there is a lot of demand. So even though the stock price doesn't really correlate to where I feel it should be, I do feel that they are doing the necessary steps to ensure its success in the future, such as even this. So Lucid is one of the sponsors at Oslo Horse Show in Norway. And Norway, I've done actually a dedicated video just on Norway on how they have a massive, insane amount of EVs. And actually they might be probably the biggest in the world as far as the demand. So Lucid is wherever the demand is. And I think that's smart, and especially them ingraining themselves through marketing this way is very good. And when it comes to the data points, I'll start off by going over some of that. So as far as options, $490,000 in calls being purchased versus 408,000 in puts. So a little bit more evenly divided, but still, regardless, if you do compare this with even last week, a lot more calls are being purchased. So a lot more optimism. And as far as optimism, so this shows all the calls, the open interest, shows the strike prices, expiry dates. Based on this information, it is anticipated to be above $6 based on this. So currently there's around 42,000 in open interest at the $6 strike price. So that is kind of interesting. When it comes down to puts though, it is anticipated to be sub $5. So this has been kind of the extreme in the writing on the wall for both different scenarios. So I'll touch on the technicals and everything, but no matter what, when it comes down to options activity, it is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. These are some of the transactions that have occurred so far on the secondary market over $100,000. So there's only been 4, so not too bad. And this is something that I did bring up on my video over the weekend, is just looking at the abnormal buying that did happen after hours on Friday, which is very abnormal. So once again, going back to my point, it might actually, some people might know the actual true Q3 numbers and know that maybe out of left field it might be above 3,000 potentially. That's would be the best case scenario, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts on the Q3 numbers. I know this is a topic I've covered over the last couple of videos, but in reality, I think that is the next big driving factor for Lucid. And moving on from here though, I'll quickly go over what shorts are doing. So short score is 85, utilization is 96.28. Currently, shorts aren't really doing too much, so they're increasing around 4,000 shares, so a very small drop in the bucket, considering 222.67 million shares overall are being shorted, and that works out to be around 25.32% of the free float, so very high. And clearly, based on the data points, like if they felt that it was unjustified, this rally up, they would be doubling down, because currently there is around 750,000 shares available to be shorted, and that is through Interactive Brokers. Cost to borrow average as well is 19.19. And just quickly popping over here, no real analyst ratings, but I do feel once the Q3 numbers come down the pipeline, there's going to be a rush of new ratings coming from analysts. But just wanted to share this with you. So the latest Morningstar report does indicate that the fair market value for Lucid is $9.54. So just keep that in mind, given that we are at $5.32 right now. So let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as this, analyst ratings, analyst forecasts for upcoming earnings, take a look at Interactive Brokers. All of this could be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. But over and above that though, a couple of things I just wanted to kind of break it down and give you a full review on. So it is that time of season once again, so 13F, so disclosures to the SEC as far as what institutions are doing, whether they bought, sold, whatever else. So it looks like still a lot of the smaller fish, but it's interesting to see that SG America Securities did get rid of their puts 100%. And all of these transactions did occur during Q3. So just be aware of that. And as well, IMC Chicago did increase their calls by 11.46%, and they did reduce their puts by 17%. So that action is very optimistic. But still, no matter what, though, a lot of these are still considered, I guess, small fish in comparison to the BlackRock and Vanguards of the market. So that most likely will be at the tail end of October when those institutions do disclose their positions. So that one will be something just to kind of watch for. But as far as this, though, so with it at $5.33, it is right now between this P and the R1. So $5.17 is a very strong support, and it kind of bounced off of that today, so that's a fairly good thing. And $5.40 is that next strong resistance, and it is kind of getting close to that right now. So I do feel like there's a lot of good momentum behind the scenes with Lucid, and like I signaled, just maybe someone must know something about the Q3 earnings. So if they do come out and are very positive, then Lucid could correct itself back to maybe close to its realistic kind of price. Not here to say that's going to go to $9.50 by any means, but you never know. It could go to potentially the high fives as well. Tesla is also going to be unveiling their earnings Wednesday after hours. That definitely is going to result in a lot of volatility in the whole EV sector and Lucid. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. So give yourself a shout out in the comments below if you have been buying Lucid, if you sold, what is your viewpoint, and why do you think it is going up? Do you think that someone does actually know something behind the scenes? Maybe the PIF, just throwing that out there. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this. It has been extended up until October the 20th. So sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals in the market. So take advantage of that. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching, and let's all eventually make a ton of money on Lucid.